All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday, December 9th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. Should be good to go on both fronts here. All of us in the trading room, all of us on our social streams here, Facebook Live and YouTube. Welcome on back. Great to see Debbie, Bonnie, Skip, Tony. Great to see you folks right inside the trading room. And I want to give a big shout out right away. I'm going to do a couple shout outs here to begin. So I do want to shout out Jerry at first. Jerry J inside our trading room. I think he stepped away from his desk just for right now. Might not be tuning in, but I want to give him the quick shout out anyway. I think he was the first to alert us regarding this GLSI pop. And he took advantage of this trade. I know he was in and out a few times, probably picked up anywhere between $3 to $5 per share. Well, I got to give another shout out, though. So not just Jerry, but Andrea. Andrea just picked up, and I got to get this right here because he posted inside the trading room just a moment ago. I actually copy and pasted actually for all of us in social media, just so you know this is real. This is true. This is the real deal. So Andrea, I got to give him a big shout out. He ended up just closing at market. I mean, you wouldn't really want to close out a trade like this at market, right? Given the spread. I don't think Andrea cares too much when he was in from 52.46. And he got out at 120. Got to give him a huge round of applause, at least Andrea C inside our trading room. He did that on a few hundred shares. Now, the news on this trade, what the hell happened? Why is a stock like GLSI up 2,400% and counting? So I know one of us just a moment ago wrote, John inside the trading room said, into breast cancer. Yes, so that is the news that came out, at least. Greenwich Life Sciences is going to copy this for social media here, too. Just a moment. So Greenwich Life Sciences shares halted on a circuit breaker, shares up 193%. Goes to show how long ago that was at this point. But it was after the company reported data showing 0% breast cancer recurrences following surgery. So that sounds like fantastic news. I would certainly say so. Now, with a trade like this, right, I have to give Andrea his shout. I have to give Jerry his shout. But at this point in the trade, this is untradeable. Right? I mean, not just because of the price. I mean, price aside, we're talking about a huge spread. When this reopens up, in the next few or so minutes, you're going to see like a $2 spread, $1 to $2 spread minimum. So if you were in this trade from earlier, that's where I said it's a different story. I said that inside the trading room just a moment ago. If you were in this trade earlier, and that was before Andrea posted his monster profit, but if you were in this trade now, or if you were in from earlier, then God bless. But you cannot try and trade the stock right now because what if, right? And we always know what happens to a stock that's up 100%, 200%, let alone 2,400%. It's going to pull back. So I'm not going to put this on our main watch list at this point, like to watch for this specific close, because again, if you're in, then you're in. But at this point, I would not look to get in at this stage, just given how far it had moved up. All right, so outside of the GLSI, though, I have to say this afternoon's pretty hot already. We have the GOVX trade, much cheaper, but also ended up making a nice push. Got halted a couple of times. Actually, this time on the way down, it looks like here. So really quick, I'm the newsman for right now, but I'll copy and paste one more time from Benzinga Pro. GOVX news, well, at least the common phrase here is COVID-19 vaccine, right? So shares not trading higher, not currently seeing company-specific news from the session, strength potentially related to optimism in the COVID-19 vaccine space. That's all I got. But nonetheless, GOVX ended up making a beautiful push heading into the early afternoon, broke over 350, moved all the way up towards just about 5. Made a second attempt breakout over 5, which looked really well. But at this point, though, very similar. It's up 91%, got halted on the way down. I will put this on our main list, though, at this point, just because it's making more of an afternoon move for us to take advantage of. So if it ends up pulling back at this stage off the reopen, do not be surprised if around like $5 acts as a major support. From there, the hope is to see this build back up, right? So, don't try and hope and hold if it doesn't give you that opportunity to move back up. So for right now, GOVX definitely will put on our main list at this point, cheap, tight spreads at least. Order book was pretty filled in prior to the halt. All right, so GOVX, GLSI. I thought there was one more. No, I thought that we had one more stock moving heading into the afternoon. Oh, actually, we had a couple. Go to our main stocks here in just a moment. But Gene, Gene, not GNC inside our trading room, although he's killing it this week. Gene the stock. We ended up seeing Gene make a nice pop heading into the early afternoon. Now, just really quickly, folks, this stock we are very familiar with. This stock not only popped earlier this year, it popped many years ago. We've taken advantage of this type of run up here. So at least I don't see any news on Benzinga Pro. Last news I have is from December 2nd, last week. That's it. So nonetheless, nice push. The fact that there isn't news out, kind of similar to GOVX, they're speculating that that was vaccine-related news. I don't know if that's the case here for Gene, but nonetheless, I'm not too particular about not seeing news. Meaning, I would like to see news in order to see a real reason as to why the stock is pumping up. But for the meantime, tight spreads, liquid order book. It's not making a crazy move down or up. Regardless, it's holding strong. So definitely we're going to put this on our main list. Looks like there is a resistance ahead at 450 on the ask. All right, then one more I wanted to jump to pretty quickly here before we really go from top to bottom. I just want to check in with it here really fast, at least. American Airlines. Man, American Airlines got crushed, dropping off at the market perhaps, but the markets were dropping earlier and American was holding. So I was short on this trade from earlier today. I thought there was going to be a lot more, but I ended up getting out. Just took about 20 cents and ran. Nonetheless, though, we had a pretty good morning, just moved on to another stock and then from there. But AAL ended up continuing to pull back further. And then when the markets broke down lower, right around like 1:30 Eastern here, you could see the major drop off once support broke. So, very fast moving trade now at this point. I like it in that regard. So we'll check out AAL. We'll also check out like the cruise lines while we're at it. I wouldn't imagine it's just American Airlines, probably UAL, DAL, and then the cruise lines here too similarly. NCLH making a steeper drop off at the market open, but did drop off pretty much at the same time as the airline did. All right, UAL making the same move, I'd imagine. Yep. All right, so maybe for right now, I'll kind of just put the airlines, cruise lines just collectively on our main list at this point. It's a very active market, so why not? At this point, though, what we will do is go from top to bottom. I see a couple of call outs inside our trading room. We'll get to those in a moment. Probably get to them here as we go from top to bottom. But XBIO ended up making a fantastic push earlier on today, more so in pre-market. But, even after the open, ended up making a nice move up, moved from 4 up towards just about 550. But, we've seen this happen, especially with this XBIO stock. This is a familiar move. We've seen the stock pump and dump in the past, and it wasn't a 15, 20 or so dollar stock. This stock has had reverse splits over the years. So this is kind of a inflated number, but you could see the chart pattern though. For every time it was popping up, it dumped back down. If not the same day, then the day after. So at least here, and it ended up pushing up early on, pushed up towards 585 high of the day. But from there, once it broke back down under that support, that's it. All right, cool. I don't know. I'm guessing new IPO. My dumb assumption here, folks, would just be artificial intelligence, AI. If I'm wrong on that, let me know. But nonetheless, pretty expensive. It is trading 22 million shares, roughly 22 million, which is good for an IPO, but just outside our price range, spread too big. Rocket RCKT, not Rocket Mortgages, Rocket Pharma ended up making a pop early. Looks like he got halted here. Ended up pushing up after, though, it seems like. And yeah, pretty expensive too. All right, Benzinga Pro actually just updated on the Gene stock. It just says that it's not seeing any company-specific news for GENE. Here's our pullback on GOVX. Uh-oh. Reopened up from its halt on the way down, and expectedly so, pushing back down more here. All right, DoorDash, speaking of IPOs, right? Pretty anticipated IPO. I don't think as much compared to what we'll have tomorrow with Airbnb. I'm really interested in that trade. This is just outside the price range, to begin with. But then, similar. The spread's just out of control. It's just not worth it for us. Airbnb, ABNB IPO tomorrow. That definitely I'm looking forward to. All right. I got to just really skim through this now at this point, folks. We got the SLS trade making a nice pop. Made a push heading into like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I didn't catch it then. I didn't see the stock until really just now. I know one of our students, Norman, called it out in the trading room just as I was going through my spiel. So yeah, pushing up right now at the high of the day pretty much at 515. You do have an order on the ask, actually, 16K seller at 520. But definitely good call from Norman. Yeah, so this will make the cut, the SLS. Also a pump and dump. We've seen this stock in the past. Just make the same type of move. All right, YQ, I guess another IPO. On day 2, or maybe not day 2, maybe this is day 4. Yeah, day 4, trading 14 million shares. Again, I'd say that's like pretty good off an IPO. So if there's good liquidity consistently day over day, then that's something that will make me gravitate more towards the stock. I mean, the last IPO that we really followed, we should all know, PLTR, right? You heard my thought on that really on the first day. Like on day 1, I said based on the offering shares, that would be a stock that we would be trading day over day, and well, we have since. So, maybe that trade, the YQ, maybe going forward. QS, QuantumScape, I don't think it's like a legitimate IPO. They're open for trading, I think maybe a month or so ago, but I don't think it was like a real IPO in that regard, though. Like, I think it was listed maybe here. We started trading it back here in September off the first pop, 87 million shares this day. That's what I do remember. Nonetheless, I mean, this ended up making a huge push in the after hours yesterday, more so in the market open this morning. I don't know what the news is, but obviously not really too tradable right now for us. Yeesh, talking about a pump and dump. My goodness. I mean, we ended up seeing the CNET trade hold really strong holding into the open. This was one of the stocks I was more interested in myself. So with that, unfortunately, well, after the market opened up, from there it ended up making the pop and drop. It ended up making the move over 3, and then from there pulled back down under 3. Once it pulled back down under 3, the rest was history, right? This is not the type of stock you want to hope and hold on to, folks. And I say that to a few of us inside our trading room, right? You don't want to, not set your stop and then walk away. And then for this to kind of be at like $2, 174 here. Fran, same thing. Same thing. Oh, I don't know why I clicked away from the PSTV. The hell? PSTV ended up just making a beautiful pop just a moment ago. Wow, what the hell happened here? Maybe I meant to click on another stock at first, but I'll certainly come back to this. All right, so how about this? Check this out, folks. If this isn't perfect for this meeting, so I'm going to copy and paste on social media in just a moment. But nonetheless, you happen to see the news for the PSTV trade, Plus Therapeutics. Company also has breast cancer treatments. Market Circulate website pipeline as Greenwich Life Sciences surges after positive data reported. Pretty interesting timing with GLSI popping this morning, and now with this. I feel like now you're going to see some traders try and pump up like any sort of like breast cancer company or any company involved with cancer cure, anything of that nature, right? So, made a big push so far right now. It pulled back, but I feel like there could be more to this trade. Look to see if we can get another round over the VWAP, and especially from there 250. Look to see a lot of buying coming in off that 250. Make sure that level holds, and then from there, hopefully the new run up higher. But for the meantime, given the afternoon run, PSTV put on our main list. Why not? All right, cool. Pretty interesting. What else do we have here? AHT former runner. Maybe I skipped over this. Tradable. Not really too much to write home about, though, otherwise. Got Stitch Fix. Spreads aren't terrible. Liquidity isn't terrible on this, but again, I mean, direction, little HCHC ended up making a nice push. Actually, right double top of the high of the day, 402. Trading pretty light volume right now, though. All right. BPTH, I'm almost like, forced to do this right here. It just popped and dropped. We're not going to put this on our main list right now, but I feel inclined to show this run back from 2019. The last time we seriously traded BPTH, it was off this run. And this was not an inflated run, like reverse stock split run. The freaking thing went from like 5 to 70 in a few days. That, I think, was our best trade entirely of 2019, like the biggest percent move that we caught. All right, let's hop over to the losers list right now, folks. If there's anything looking just as good, if not better, on that side, bunch of crap hard to borrow, aside from, well, BE, Bloom Energy. We are familiar with this stock. It's at the lows of the day, or still near the lows right now, trading 13 plus million shares. Spreads a little wacky, but order book definitely is filled in. Yeah, I don't mind giving this a look. I mean, just for right now, we'll see if this could eventually begin to pull back lower towards that low of the day, just given how far it's down already. Otherwise, if it doesn't do that, then hope to see maybe a dead cat bounce, shorts cover for this to squeeze back up, make a higher high. INFI down and shortable, but yeah, not much going on there. STM, this stock is at the low of the day. 35 you would assume to be support. Not really a whole lot of volume at all filled at that price, though. Not really a whole lot of volume on the order book at that price, or so it seems. It's at the low of the day. There's a difference between this and BE, and it's just the fact that BE is trading. I mean, well, it is trading more volume per minute, but there isn't really like an identifiable support level here. You would assume 35, but there's not much on the bid. There's not much volume filled so far, so it's not to say that there was an iceberg filled already. I'll come back to it. STM, maybe at the very end. I almost sold myself into putting this on our list just there. All right, what else do we have here so far, folks? FireEye. I saw some news out on FireEye. Faye. I guess they got hacked. Security company got hacked. I don't know by who. They said it was a foreign state nation or nation state, they said. Yeah, that just about does it, folks. That's all I got on the losers end here. So if there's anything else that's up, down, left, right, more than 5%, let me know. Type it in the chat boards. Gene making a second run up, says Norman. There we go. Oof, what the hell happened here? Jeez. Yeah, well, ended up pulling back off those highs. That's where we left off with it, I think. Jeez, down and right back up. Damn, talk about buying coming in. Look at the big volume spike that came in off of 410 primarily. Then from there, a lot more coming in over, we'll say like 425. So for right now, this looks, strong, but a crazy drop and move back up. John following up just inside our trading room saying the senator from Georgia is one of the guys insider trading FireEye. That's pretty interesting. Well, doesn't seem like he's doing too good right now. SLS is popping up higher, says Brian and Norman as well. John saying the PSTV, the company, I believe he says it's located in Austin, Texas. Okay. All right, folks, I think that just about does it, though. The GLSI trade, I think that's still halted, if I'm not mistaken. That's not on our list anyway. I'm just updating you. Going down Benzinga Pro myself right now. Their signals page, I got nothing, which is fine. We have a good list already. And like I said, we have the airlines and cruise lines on our list just with the way the market's moving right now. So, that alone should keep us occupied. And check in on a couple of small cap pops here. I'm not really too hopeful. PHIO, this has been a pump and dump in the past, and if not a pump and dump, then just a complete tease to where we thought it was going to move, and it never really gave us anything at all. So, this is getting some love right now, some volume coming in on this trade, but for the meantime, we'll keep this off our list. If there's more signs of life on this run, in the next 10 minutes, then, hopefully we'll be there to catch the rest of it. But otherwise, I like the list that we have here. All right, where's my banner? I got to do my thing. There we go. Perfect. All right, so for all of us on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube, as always, make sure that you first like, subscribe, and notify right on our YouTube channel. That would be youtube.com/cybertradingu. And especially notify yourself just so you know when we're going live, when we're not. We're going to sporadically pop on live going into the next year, 2021. So I look forward to that. I'll be trading myself in front of you folks. Aside from that, just feel free to join us weekdays, Monday to Friday, right inside the Cyber Group room. And then for all of us inside the room right now, I'm going to copy and paste the picks. And I'm going to jump on a quick call myself. I'll be back at 3:30 as usual to wrap things up for you folks heading into the end of the day. Take care.